Right, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today you will be with me for FIN552. So we are in topic 5. So for today we are going to discuss on the continuations of topic 5, right? For the part of company analysis, right? For the part of this one, company analysis, okay? Right. So previously you have learned about a little bit on the technical analysis, whereby in our topic we also have learned from the topic 4, the economic and industry analysis, and right now we are in the topic 5 for the company analysis and evaluation, right? So for previously you have learned about the top down approach, okay? The top down approach, let me remind you, right? So this is what we call a top down approach, okay? Top down approach, whereby we started our analysis with the first is from the economic point of view, and then goes down to industry, and then goes down to the company. Or if you want to make it like in the circle like this, it will be like this one. Okay, we started with economic analysis, and then industry, and then lastly the company, right? So previously I have discussed with you about economic analysis, whereby you check on the GDP, the gross domestic product. You also check on the inflation rate, the unemployment rate. So those are a kind of among the indicators, the economic indicators, which is crucial for you to check whether the economic conditions is in a good conditions, or whether the economic is having a recession. So from this analysis, you will know on how to manage your investment, okay, in the future. And then we goes to industry. For industry, we also have learned about especially about the industry life cycle, whereby you have from the pioneering stages, goes to the growing stages. You also have maturity stages, and also what we call as stabilization, and then lastly we have deceleration. Okay, this one, the industry life cycle, right? So lastly is the deceleration, okay, declining stages lah. So the first one is normally the pioneering, whereby the industry is started to penetrate into the market, right? And then after that we goes to maturity, growing first, and then maturity stages, before it turns down to be at the deceleration stages. So the pioneering stages, such as any new industry that could come up to, right? Maybe we also have previously the nanotechnology industry and so on. But right now I think you should check a few new technology industry that could be called as a pioneering stages for this one, right? We have a few, especially in the medical aspect, right? From the medical, for the medical manufacturing, right? Dalam pembuatan mungkin ubat-ubatan yang baru dan sebagainya, duduk dekat sini, dan dia mungkin akan naik menjadi growing, and then matured, and then one day will be declining lah. Such as yang decline ni dah banyak dah. Maybe you can bagi example such as like the digital camera also. Okay, digital camera also, I can say it's a kind of declining. Okay, we no longer using it, right? And of course the one that have replaced the being replaced by the netbook and also laptop, such as typewriter. typewriter industry, right? We also have the CD and VCDs. So those are a kind of industry which is have go through the deceleration stages, right? So this is what we call as industry analysis. Okay, the one that we are going to discuss for today is about company analysis. So once you have checked on the economic and also industry analysis, we also must do a thorough analysis for the company analysis. Okay, so especially whenever you really want to invest in the equity market. Okay, so analyzing the economy and stock market for several countries, for example, let's say one analyst had made decision, okay, in regards to her investment in an equity market. So let's say after analyzing the economic and stock market, okay, economic and stock market, okay, this one, economic and the stock market, right, for several months, okay, so sorry, for several countries, this analyst has decided that percentage of her portfolio should be invested in common stock, and her allocation to alternative countries that is overweight, okay, market weight and underweight. So she actually analysed everything about it. So second, after analysing the various industries, she also identified the one that appeared to offer above average risk adjusted performance over her investment horizon. Okay, so whenever she wants to actually decide which one is the best for her investment, right, so the one thing that she could not forego is the company analysis. So maknanya kalau lah dia nak buat tu, dia kena decide juga on the part of the company analysis itself lah. So dia kena buat a kind of thorough analysis tentang industri yang dia nak, company yang dia nak invest tersebut. Okay, mungkin daripada awal she has decided about the economic analysis and also which industry that she could invest. The third thing is the company analysis itself. Dia memang kena check lah on the company analysis, right? So let's take a look on a few types of stock that available. Okay, there are a few types of stock which are available on the market. So the first is the growth stock. Okay, the first one is the growth stock. So for the growth stock, right, for the growth stock, normally those stocks is actually maybe having a high growing rate of sales. So sorry, sales dia agak tinggi, sales dia mungkin agak tinggi, right, and earning at a rate that is faster than the overall economy. So dia punya earning juga lebih cepat daripada mungkin syarikat-syarikat lain punya earning lah, growing faster, right? It grow faster. So growth stock is normally having a high expected rate of return than any other stock with similar market risk that available. So those what we call as growth stock. Okay, so if you want to have a higher return, so it's a kind of quite good if you could actually invest in those growing stock in the equity market. Okay, such as in Malaysia itself, maybe the top gainers, okay, the top gainers in the market, such as we can say a few growing stock. Normally dia punya PER also you can check, dia agak tinggi macam Randhill. Okay, Randhill di Malaysia. We also have CIMB Group, Kobe Technology. You can check lah a few stock in Malaysia which is having a kind of growing at a quite reasonable rate. Okay, we have a lot lah, ada banyak juga. Maybe you can check on the Eon shares, alright, and so on. Okay, so itu adalah antara growing stock yang available lah di Malaysia. Boleh check dekat top gainers, kadang-kadang ada juga, alright. Ataupun you boleh check dengan broker kan, which one is a kind of growing. So kita nak ambil kesempatan terhadap dia punya high rate of growing, especially the earnings, the price and so on. So kita boleh tengok dia punya growing rate tu agak tinggi compare dengan stock lain. Itu adalah growth stock. Next, we also have defensive company stock. Okay, for the defensive companies and stock, normally those defensive stocks adalah stock yang mampu bertahan walaupun ketika economic downturn. Itu maksud dia. Okay, so those stocks are a kind of defensive in behavior, whereby if the economic goes down, the stock prices normally would remain unchanged, or it will a little bit a kind of declining, but not so that high at a high rate lah. So dia turun tapi hanya pada kadar yang sedikit sahaja. Okay, so those companies normally involve, those stock normally adalah in the food chains and normally grocery stores. Kenapa? Whenever the economic downturn, biasanya people still keep using their product. So that's why their stock is a kind of defensive in this way, right? So seperti in Malaysia kan, a kind of defensive stock. Saya sapu yang ni, right? Kalau food and change industries, the one yang selalu you tengok adalah of course this one lah, like Nestle. We also have FNN, any other related foods and groceries product. Okay, so mereka ni adalah among yang mampu bertahan walaupun ketika economic downturn. Itu kita panggil defensive stock lah. So for a kind of defensive stock ni agak sesuai untuk investors yang bersifat risk averse ataupun investors yang baru nak start join in investing in the stock market. So mereka ini biasanya tends to choose this kind of defensive stock, right? Sebab tak nak rugi kan. So mereka mula-mula tu mereka akan cuba pilih yang agak bersifat defensive. Okay, what about speculative stock? Speculative stock adalah stock yang of course you can actually grab the opportunity of their higher different price from time to time lah. Maknanya you boleh cuba ambil kesempatan terhadap dia punya price, a kind of price movement lah. So you boleh ambil kesempatan terhadap dia punya price movement, dan price movement dia biasanya agak ketara. You boleh nampak naik turun harga untuk speculative stock, okay, agak tinggi. Okay, so dia boleh naik dalam masa yang sekejap dan juga boleh turun dalam masa yang only in short period of time tu you boleh nampak kadar turun naik harga dia. So agak tinggi lah. Okay, so sebab tu speculators akan suka untuk memilih this kind of stock untuk dia ambil kesempatan terhadap tak naik dan turun harga tersebut. Okay, itu yang bersifat agak spekulatif lah. So kalau biasanya di US, diorang selalu panggil a kind of penny stock. Penny stock. Penny stock tu dia refers to penny. Okay, penny stock kan, yang agak turun naik, kan, turun naik dengan agak tinggi lah, dengan agak tinggi. So normally kalau you nak tengok economic report, you boleh baca what are the 10 stock that brokers suggest you to buy it lah, kan. So you boleh tengok a kind of stock tersebut dia ada naik turun yang sedikit tinggi lah, compare dengan stok-stok lain yang mungkin agak stabil, dan dia juga biasanya agak aktif, kan, agak aktif lah. So itu adalah antara yang you boleh check tengok lah, yang antara apa yang you boleh check tengok lah, kan. So dia ada kind of stock yang bersifat tadi kan, growth, okay, growth stock, and then speculative, dan juga dia ada defensif. So kalau speculative ni memang sesuai lah kalau you nak ambil kesempatan terhadap turun naik harga dia, kan. So on macam mana kita nak tahu? Normally you have to keep your eyes on the movement of the stock prices lah, kan. Kalau di Malaysia juga antara yang selalu saya tengok adalah yang tadi Kobe Technology tu. Dia memang agak Kobe Technology stock, bersifat agak spekulatif lah, kan. So kalau you boleh check dan perhatikan, dia memang ada a few types yang dia punya kadar turun naik dia tu agak tinggi, compare dengan share lain. Kan adalah banyak yang lain, you mungkin boleh tengok lah a few any other stock lain yang you boleh tengok lah untuk aktiviti intra trading dia panggil, kan, for the purpose of speculative lah, kan. Any yang available adalah juga Harbourlink Group, something yang agak untuk you punya trading tu dia agak tinggi juga kadar turun naik dia, dagang exchange dan sebagainya lah. You boleh tengok nanti, itu antara nama-nama stok yang kita tengok agak aktif jugalah, right. For the speculative, right. So right now kita nak pergi kepada value of the stock itself lah. So value of the stocks normally adalah those that appear to be undervalued for reasons any other than earning growth potential. So itu adalah value stock lah, dia undervalued, okay, for quite some time. So value stock are usually identified by analysts as having low price earning. So biasanya low PE, dia ada low price earning, or price to book value ratio dia pun rendah lah. So notably in this comparison lah antara growth dan value stock, biasanya value stock ni dia ada low PE, low price earning ratio. So kita panggil dia value stock, okay. Dia juga not consistent lah dengan apa yang ada dalam stok-stok yang bersifat growing, bersifat spekulatif dan sebagainya. Itu adalah untuk value stock, right. Dia mempunyai dia ada nilai, cuma dia undervalued. Dia ada nilai, okay, tetapi dia undervalued lah, kan. So itu adalah among value stock. You boleh check nantilah a kind of stock yang agak bersifat value stock. So growing stock macam syarikat-syarikat yang besar, kan. Kalau growing stock tadi, okay, a kind of mempunyai sales dan earning yang agak tinggi seperti Google, Apple and Facebook secara international. Kalau di Malaysia kita ada banyak jugalah stock yang likely tends to grow, right, such as kalau you tengok top gainers tu, kan, nampak lah, kan, the PBB, the Hon Leong dan sebagainya tu agak growing. Mr. DIY and so on pun dah saya tengok dia agak stabil juga, right. So those kind of stock adalah stock yang a kind of growing lah. Dia mempunyai, of course, dari asalnya daripada company yang agak strong, kan. Dia punya dia ada strong background, kan, such as Google, Apple, Facebook ni memang terkenal lah, kan. Right. So ini adalah stock yang kita boleh katakan sebagai growing lah. So this is kalau you nak baca textbook tu, you boleh baca yang ni dia ulas sikit lah pasal growth stock, okay. So saya nak pergi highlight kepada direct lah kepada kita punya tajuk, right. Satu lagi yang ni you boleh kind of read, cuba baca, low cost strategy, differentiation strategy. This is focusing strategy for the company analysis. Yang saya nak highlight juga adalah SWOT analysis, okay. SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis is quite important lah for mana-mana company sekalipun, right? Or whereby you if you want to start a business as well, so you have to do the SWOT analysis on your own, right? So apa lagi tambah pula dengan keadaan company kan, memang kena buat lah. So for the SWOT analysis involve an examination of a firm's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and also threat. So dia kena kenal pasti apa dia punya strength, okay, apa dia punya weaknesses, apa dia punya opportunities dan juga threats. Threats adalah dia punya risk dan juga ancaman yang boleh membahayakan company dia, right? So this SWOT analysis should be done by the if you want to do the company analysis lah, kena highlight jugalah untuk bahagian SWOT analysis, right? So like the strength of the company, normally if they have a good product and maybe they also having a good R&D, a kind of innovative R&D, research and development, and market leadership maybe, or strong financial resources. So these are the strengths that they have to develop it. Maybe they have to maintain and defend it lah through their own operation, right? And what about the weaknesses? Weaknesses normally the results from whatever is happening around the company itself, maybe around the industry or economic and so on, right? So weaknesses ni dia boleh tengok lah, mungkin dia ada beberapa mungkin secara internal kan, dari sudut management dan sebagainya tu pun dia dah boleh identify. Kalau secara externalnya kan, dia nak identify contoh a domestic producer, okay, this one domestic producer, right, in a global market can make investment that will allow it to export or produce its product overseas, kan. So salah satu halangan jugalah kalau dia nak export dia punya domestic product ke luar negara, of course they have to penetrate into the market. So how they are going to penetrate into the international market? So these are a kind of the things that they could analyze lah what to do, right? So another example would be a firm with poor financial resources. Yang ni saya katakan tadi, mungkin masalah dari sudut internal kan, dia ada masalah untuk dapatkan satu keadaan kewangan yang agak stabil, right? So these are among weaknesses yang they could check on lah. And then for the opportunities adalah apakah peluang baru yang dia boleh grab untuk expand lagi dia punya company. And threats adalah referring to the environmental factors that can hinder the firms in achieving its goal, of course. So example could be the slowing domestic economy, any additional government regulation and so on, the competitors. So those adalah among factors that could contribute to their threats, right? So we are going to learn on the calculation part, the calculating of intrinsic value and so on. So I'll see you in the next coming video.